Have you ever taken a risk? What's up, everybody? My name is Dr. J. In 2019, Northwestern Mutual conducted a planning and progress study where they surveyed over 2,000 Americans. Now, what they found out in this survey is that majority of Americans are risk adverse. That means they're not taking any risk at all, okay? Even if there was a chance of getting greater returns, they were still not going to take this risk. As a matter of fact, 72% of these Americans preferred not to take any risk. Now, the different categories that they looked at were finances, careers, even social life. In all areas, Americans chose not to take risks. In their careers, they found out that 65% of Americans prefer to stay with their one employer. In fact, even with their social lives, they found out that 66% of Americans prefer to stick with their same friend group. Not because they're not looking for new relationships, it's just to avoid that social risk that comes with making new friends. Without risk, there's no innovation. Risk leads to learning. Learning leads to success. One of the greatest NBA players of all time, Michael Jordan, had this quote to say about risk.
I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed.
What we found out is that people are scared of failure. And let me tell you about a risk I took. So right after high school, I had no idea what I wanted to do at all with my life. People told me I had to go to college, and being a person, the young-minded individual I decided I was going to go to college. Now, in college, initially, I wanted to be a broadcast journalism major. Specifically, I was trying to be a radio DJ, you know what I'm saying? That was my goal. That's what I wanted to do. However, in college, one of the many benefits is you meet a lot of new people and you get a lot of new experiences. And during this time, I actually decided to take a whole nother risk. If taking a risk on college wasn't enough, I decided to take a risk on STEM. Now, for those of you who do not know what STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math. STEM. Now, I particularly took a risk in chemistry. All right, y'all see what I did there? I took a risk in chemistry. That was a long journey, of course, but through the help of my mentors, my peers, and ultimately the school that I was at, I was able to finish and get my bachelor's degree in chemistry, which ultimately led me to get my PhD in chemistry as well. Now, I cannot make this up. Because I took that risk on STEM, that ultimately changed the rest of my life. Not even knowing it, right? I'm just some kid coming out of high school not knowing what I wanted to do. But because I took a chance on myself, right, that changed my trajectory in my life. So the number of degrees in science and engineering has increased. In 2000, there was around 500,000 degrees given, and that's in all degree levels, associates, bachelors, PhDs, etc. Now, in 2019, it's more close to 1 million degrees being given out now. Over the years, the US has lost its edge. Right now, there are other countries who are producing as many, if not more, science and engineering degrees. So a big problem that we need to figure out is how can we get more people into STEM? Specifically, how can we get more of a representation of America in STEM? Blacks, Hispanics, and American Indians or Alaska Natives collectively represent 30% of the employed US population, but 23% of the total STEM workforce in 2019. We need to increase that. The need for STEM degrees is crucial in America right now. We need more people in STEM. After graduate school, I ultimately had the opportunity to create an organization called Don't Be Scared. I realized that there was a need still in all communities as far as telling them about the opportunities they can have with this STEM career. Don't Be Scared is a STEAM content provider. We have events, programs, products that helps individuals seek a career in STEM, as well as we focus on developing 21st century skills. They belong in STEM. Since our creation in 2021, we've been able to expose and impact over 1,000 participants in the Tulsa and Oklahoma City area through our various projects, from after-school programs, service learning projects, and our events. Recently, I've been blessed to be part of an awesome program called Thrive. Now, Thrive is run by Leadership Tulsa, and I've been blessed to be part of cohort number 5. We the best alive. In this program, it was charged to us to create a new project. In this case, my new project focuses on developing the next generation of STEM scholars. So I ultimately created a new program called Brave Diamonds. Because remember, we had to be brave and we had to take risk. Now, brave does have a meaning. As a matter of fact, brave stands for be yourself, respect others, acknowledge the past, voice your concerns, and exceed your expectations. Now, when we think about diamonds all come from the same material, the element carbon. You take carbon, in this case, and you pressurize that carbon up to ultimately adding heat and pressure, right? It makes a new beautiful diamond. That's the process, kind of in the short version, everybody. Can't go in details today. You got this beautiful diamond, but what we need to realize is that it came from this element carbon, and we are all essentially carbon. I was an individual that came out of high school not knowing what they wanted to do at all with their lives. But through pressure, through different heated situations, I feel like I was able to blossom into a diamond. And that's the goal for everybody who's going to be in this community. Brave Diamonds is a free community for anybody interested in seeking a career in STEM. Once again, STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math. So in this community, it's a focus on developing professionally. And once again, this is for anybody who's seeking a career in STEM. So we focus on skills that are normally not taught in the classroom. If it's time management skills, to interviewing skills, resume building, SMART goals, realizing that you are enough, right? If you're dealing with imposter syndrome. We then will start to roll out some programs that are going to be beneficial for those in our community, such as different workshops focusing on these skills that we mentioned before, and in-person events that can be beneficial for those in the community. In the meantime, feel free to go follow us at our podcast, Don't Be Scared to Podcast. Our podcast focuses on interviewing different STEM professionals in different STEM careers, as well as we give a couple of tips away, that free game, to you all who are interested in STEM careers. Once again, that's Don't Be Scared, the podcast.